All right, everybody, we are officially kicking off the Senior Solutions Friday Agency webinar. And I appreciate everybody who takes the time to be on out of your busy day. But trust me, this is something that we do not take lightly. We prepare very, very hard every single week, making sure that we're bringing you outstanding content. And if there is something that you'd like for us to talk about, please let me know, let myself know, Michael or Jimmy, and we will certainly include that in our topics for the week. Because trust me, if there's something that you're struggling with, or there's something that you want to talk about, chances are there's other agents out there that are having the same feelings, that are wanting to do the same thing. Guys, we have got a lot of new agents. There's at least 4 or 5 brand new agents that it looks like this is maybe your very first Senior Solutions webinar. So definitely want to welcome you to the team. Appreciate you taking the time to get on this morning. Also, if you are new, if you have not ordered your new agent starter kit, guys, get with your manager. Make sure you get your kit order. This is going to give you everything that you need. Those the final expense, the Senior Solutions final expense brochures, the 10 fax brochures, your 2 pocket folders, flip chart, business card, ID badge, door tags, really everything you need all put together so you can get out there and start knocking on doors, getting out into the field, making presentations, and ultimately making money. And again, what we want to do real quick, it came across my desk yesterday. I just noticed that we had a couple of agents that I just wanted to take just a minute to just quickly recognize some people that had some look like some pretty good week last week. This is in 1 week. We had Jackie out in San Antonio, relatively new. She's been with us, I don't know, maybe a month or two, and she's really got a lot of things going on. She does final expense and some other things, but she put together 2 really nice applications for $4,649 in annual premium. And again, that was in 1 week. So congratulations to Jackie out in San Antonio.
Yeah, great job, Jackie.
San Antonio.
Yeah, baby. What'd you say, Michael? What did you say?
I said, great job, Jackie. I believe Jackie's a single mom, and she pushes it hard every day. She gives a lot, and she is truly a great cheerleader for Senior Solutions as well. So she's mentioned us to many other people as well. So proud of you, Jackie.
Yeah, she's on her way to being a superstar for sure, for sure. And then Stephen out of Ohio. Stephen's been with us for, man, quite a few years, maybe going on close to 3 or 4 years now. Always been a top producer, but he had a really good week last week. 9 applications, almost hit double digits in applications. Actually, if you count his, he did hit double digit applications because he had 9 final expense apps for $6,951. That was all final expense. And he also wrote an annuity for $100,000. So if you combine that annuity applications, that's 10 applications for the week. Just really had a great, outstanding week. And then Tom in Northwest Indiana is starting to do some more business with us. He's a great addition to the team. Tom's a broker. He had 6, and these are final expense apps, 6 applications for $7,743. Guys, that's 1 week of production. Tom is really, he's I'd say an anomaly. This is a guy, I swear, he's one of those people that can just roll out of bed and write $3 grand. I mean, he consistently writes $25,000 to $35,000 of premium every single month. Since he's been with us, I think I first met Tom in 2012 or 13. He had answered an ad. Tom, will just give you a little background. He was a manager at True Green, and was looking to do something different, wanted to be a business owner, didn't want to be tied down to that job. And we got him introduced to final expense. Like I said, it was either 12 or 13. I think it was 2013, if my memory serves me right. But every year since then, he has never written less than $300,000 in production. In 2018, he was the #1 producer in the country out of all producers, all IMOs with Transamerica on their senior division. So just a great guy, just a great producer. With that, we're going to introduce, for you new people, introduce you to our management team. Joe Johnson, I'm the guy who's hosting the call today. I'm the founder of Senior Solutions, and we've got Michael Mahalik, agency director of agency, or director of agency development, I should say, out of Atlanta, Georgia. And then Jimmy Hernandez, agency director, also our in-house certified financial planner and tax advisor out of San Antonio, Texas. So guys, this is your management team. So if you need help with something, we are the people that you want to get with. We're the people that you want to talk to. It always kind of cracks me up, when sometimes when we hire a new agent and they're like, they want to talk to like an agent. I understand that, but it's like, dude, I said, you got me. I mean, like, you want to know how it's done? You want to talk to me. You want to talk to Michael. You want to talk to Jimmy. You want to talk to somebody that has succeeded at the highest level possible. That's who you want to get your advice from, man. Go straight to the top. So what's great about our company is that we are all very accessible. So if you need help, let us know. We love coaching and mentoring agents and helping people get to the next level. With that, our here's funny. Here's an agent that's supposed to be on the call, but they're calling me. Let me go ahead and turn that down. My apologies. Let me turn my phone off. Guys, our topic today is going to be a good one. It's going to be the income calculator. We've got this great Excel spreadsheet that you can really plug all your numbers in. You can really determine exactly the amount of marketing and advertising and the activity that it's going to take to achieve the income that you want to achieve. My question to you is talking to you today, how much income do you desire in the next 12 months? What is it that you want to have happen in your business in the next 12 months? How about in the next 6 weeks or the next 90 days or 120 days? What this call is designed to do is give you the exact number, the input in order to what you need to do to achieve those numbers that you want to achieve. But before we get into that, myself and Jimmy and Michael, we really want to talk to you about some things in your business. One is overcoming obstacles, not objections, but obstacles. And we're not talking about obstacles with sales necessarily. We're really talking about, we want to talk to you briefly about overcoming obstacles that may be in your life, things that are holding you back. And you really got to ask yourself, what is holding you back? What is it that's keeping you from hitting the goals that you want to hit? And you can look back in your past endeavors, maybe look at your last 2 or 3 jobs that you had. Like, seriously, like, what kept you from succeeding at the highest levels possible? I always say, and this is something I got to tell myself every day. It's like, Joe, man, dude, you got to stop making excuses and go to work. You got to make it happen. I mean, the thing about it is that the people that succeed at truly high levels typically don't have any more talent than anybody else. They just get down to business, man. They stop making excuses. They stop getting ready to get ready. They don't procrastinate, and they just go to work, man. And that's what just briefly before we get into the income calculator, because I think this is a great segue to get into the income calculator, because the information that we're going to give you is going to be useless, honestly, if you don't do the work. So Michael, let me turn it over to you just for a second and maybe talk to our sales team out there a little bit about, overcoming obstacles that may be in their life. Maybe there's a technique or two, or maybe you can give us an example of something in your life, an obstacle that was in your way, and then, what did you do to overcome that obstacle? What can we do to give our sales team some motivation and inspiration to overcome the obstacles that may be in their way from truly succeeding at a high level?
Thanks, Joe. And I tell you, Joe, here's something I found a long time ago, and a very important person that you and I both know, Joe, told me this right here. It's much easier to act your way into a feeling than feel your way into an action. And some of us are waiting to have the right feeling, Joe, before we take action. And that is totally wrong. God favors the bold and the humble. And at one point or another, you got to make the decision to jump. I think that's Steve Harvey, which show you sent me was a very inspirational video. Everybody in life who's an entrepreneur, who wants to control their life, wants to be self-employed, has got to take a risk. Life is all about risk. You would not be with Senior Solutions, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't want to take a risk. You would be at a job right now doing a 9 to 6, having a boss, having a set income. So business is all about risk, ladies and gentlemen. But this is a calculated risk. So first and foremost, it starts with belief, ladies and gentlemen. You've got to believe in yourself. I hope you already know, ladies and gentlemen, you're with the best final expense platform in the country. You've got professionals here who have done it over and over. Joe Johnson has been one of the most successful agents in the field. Jimmy Hernandez, one of the most successful agents in the field. You have your Chick-fil-A final expense right here. But it doesn't mean anything without you taking that risk first and getting out there. And everything in life, Joe, usually when I had problems, Joe, is because I was not believing in myself and I was not taking a risk. Hesitation can cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars, ladies and gentlemen, if you hesitate. You've got to take the risk. What's the worst thing that can happen is that you learn something. But it's more ready, aim, fire. You want to go ahead, UDA, you want to observe. The Marines, Joe, which I believe you were in, tell us that making no decision is worse than making a bad decision. Ladies and gentlemen, you can readjust, but you got to know the formula of the winnings with final expense, and then you've got to take the risk and take it. And our formula is very simple. Leads equal presentations equal applications equal commissions. So it all starts, ladies and gentlemen, with you having someone to see. And that's where you got to take the risk on yourself. On a couple calls back earlier, we talked about how do you make $100,000. Ladies and gentlemen, your goal in this business, if you want to hit that six-figure income, is very simple. It's 12 to 15 presentations a week. And you have a crack team of advisors here with me, Jimmy, and Joe, that we're going to tell you how to back into that number no matter what budget you have. But it all starts with you. It all starts with you taking the risk. It all starts with you realizing your biggest enemy is paralysis by analysis. You're your biggest obstacle. Self-accountability, being proactive is the key, Joe and Jimmy, as we all know, to being successful. And successful people are no different than you, ladies and gentlemen. Just in most cases, they were just willing to take a risk, or more of a risk than maybe you were. So, Joe, at every point in my life I've ever had problems, I was really not believing in myself enough and not taking that proper risk once I found a system that would work. So back over to you, Joe.
Good. Hey, Jimmy, would you like to add onto this topic?
I sure would. If you have not seen the movie or the series The Last Dance, it's about Michael Jordan's basketball career. You got to see it because it totally relates to life and challenges and what are you trying to accomplish, and we'll be specific. Final expense. When Michael Jordan was in the 10th grade, he went and tried out for the varsity team and he didn't make the cut. And he went home and he was so defeated. He said he was angry. He cried. He went and told his mom, and she told him, well, you need to get better. You need to practice. And so he made I guess, a decision to start that very day. And he started practicing for a whole year. Next year, he made the team. And, then, when he was a senior. The coaches really saw something special about him, and then they, reached out to North Carolina and, got him a scholarship, and, the rest is history. But throughout his whole career, even at the Bulls, he was the one that was driving the team to get better. He was the one that was pushing his teammates to practice before practice, to stay after practice, to get better. And it wasn't anything that he didn't do himself. So nobody could say, oh, well, Michael's not doing it, because he drove himself. And you know what? I think everybody could relate. If you watch The Last Dance, it should, stir up in you that feeling that, I can do this. I can make this happen. It could give you the confidence to go out there. And maybe your drive is low. Well, you know what? You can build on it. It's just a matter of getting out there. And what I love about Final Expense is that, the more activity you do, the better you get. And along the way, you're compensated well for it. So, I mean, literally, this business, one good week could turn your whole life around. So, Joe, with that, I'll give it right back to you.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. And it's all about momentum. And you're talking about, Michael Jordan and what drove him. And dude, it really comes down to drive. Here's the one thing I know, guys, is that if you want something bad enough, you'll do anything in your power to get it. I mean, just remember back when you were a kid and you were in the grocery store with your mom and you really wanted that candy bar or that, whatever it was, the Fruit Loops or, whatever, and you're like, Mom, I want this, Mom. And just like, have you ever had a kid that was just so, if you had children, you can probably relate to this, that your child is just so relentless that you just give in and say, fine, here's the Fruit Loops, here's the candy bar, whatever it is. But sometimes in life we kind of lose that. As a kid, they don't know, they want something, so they're going to keep going for it and going for it and going for it and going for it. And in life, sometimes we just get beat down so much is that we kind of lose the inspiration, we lose our drive. I'm telling you today, is that today's the day that you make the decision that you're going to get your drive back. When I first got started in the insurance business, I didn't have great success in the beginning. I had obstacles that were in my way, but most of the time what I figured out, or what I came to realize, is that the majority of the obstacles were in my head. They weren't like real obstacles, And finally, I had somebody just say these very simple words to me. And I'd like for you to write this down. And it's simply this: what's holding you back? Those few words, honestly, probably 10 years ago, maybe changed my life. When someone asked me that was very successful, had a huge organization, and I was kind of struggling. It's like, hey, dude, Joe, what's holding you back? It was me that's holding me back. I was holding myself back. It's the belief in yourself. If you want something bad enough, nothing will get in your way. Trust me. You've all heard stories of people that have done incredible feats of strength to save a loved one, break through a burning building, lift up a car to get their kid untrapped from a vehicle. Think about this: if you pulled into your driveway and your house was on fire and you thought your kids were in there, you would do everything in your power to overcome, and the doors were locked, you would overcome every obstacle. Even if you had to run through a plate glass window to save your children, you would do it. Why? Because it's something that was deep in your heart that you wanted to do, that you knew that you need to do as a life or death situation. Well, guys, I'm telling you, to me, you got to get it in your heart that your business is a life or death situation. That's how serious it's got to be. Like your financial wherewithal is a life or death situation. Overcoming obstacles, having a dream that's big enough that you're willing to do whatever is required. And that's what, that's the one thing I tell new agents is like, hey man, what do I got to do to succeed? Man, you got to be willing to do whatever it takes. Whatever's required is what you got to do. Don't let the fact that you don't have a ton of money keep you from succeeding. Remember, I told you guys this before. It don't take money to make money. It takes courage to make money. That's what it takes. It takes guts. It takes intestinal fortitude to make money. It doesn't take money to make money. You know what? It's easier when you have money, but go out and do the work, man. We spend a lot of time teaching you on things that you need to do, but you got to go out and do it. And you got to dream big. But here's the thing about dreaming big. There's a lot of great inspirational videos on YouTube that I watch. One of them is with Denzel Washington that I really like, and he's given I don't know what graduating class, but he's giving the graduating class a speech, and he's just talking about dreaming big. But the one thing that was oh so powerful in his speech, that he was talking about dreams without doing the work are just dreams. They're dead dreams. And this is a great segue into what we're going to be talking about today with the income calculator, is that it's great if you have big dreams, because that's where it starts. You got to have the dream. You got to have that vision. But in addition to that, your dreams, you have to have goals. And that's what Denzel said. Denzel said, dreams without goals are just dreams. But in addition to the goals, those goals must be written down. You must put in place an action plan to achieve those goals. And then you got to take the action. You got to do the work that's in the action plan in order to achieve the goals, to achieve the dream. It all comes back with full circle. And we talk about this all the time, man. Being talented is overrated. Hard work is where it takes, man. Like what Jimmy was talking about with Michael Jordan, dude. Nobody worked harder than Michael Jordan. Nobody worked harder. And with hard work comes success and the accolades. He got recognized because of the hard work. Man, honestly, it's a blessing that he got rejected as a 10th grader from his basketball team, versus just being able to squeak on. Maybe he just barely made it. Maybe if the coach felt sorry for him and said, you know what, Michael, you're a good kid. We'll let you on the team. Maybe the reason Michael Jordan's so good is because he got rejected and it pissed him off so bad that he was willing to do whatever it took to become the best ever. That's the attitude we got to take. What does it take to be the best ever? And you just got to go do it, man. Well, enough with that. Well, if you're checking us out on YouTube, maybe you're not part of the Senior Solutions team, but you want to get some more information. This is the point in time in the call. If you stuck around this long and you'd like to subscribe to our call or our weekly webinar, do me a favor, go ahead and subscribe. And this way you can get the content that we put out every single week. So guys, with that, we are going to transition into our income calculator. One thing I am going to do is that this call is being recorded, and I am going to send out an email later with a copy of the recording so you can listen to it. And hopefully what we're bringing to you will give you some inspiration and some motivation to go to work, to get off your couch and actually go out and go see people and take action. Trust me, and Michael said this before, and it's really, I think it's so important. I heard him say it and he kind of really brushed over it. He mentioned to the fact about having having a bad plan, I can't remember exactly the way he phrased it, but having a, maybe a bad plan is better than not having a plan.
That's what the Marine motto is better to make a bad decision than no decision at all. Because, ladies and gentlemen, you can readjust your decision, but you can't readjust no decision. So that was on. I think, Joe, you were a Marine, correct? So I know that's one of the big things of Marines I've met.
One correction, I am a Marine, Michael.
You are a Marine. There we go. The few and the proud.
Once a Marine, always a Marine, dude. So
I had heard that from them that, hey, no decision is way worse than a bad decision. A bad decision can be readjusted.
Exactly. And everyone's heard the analogy, maybe it sounds corny to you. Yeah, you can't steer a parked car. Well, it's true. You can't make any corrections if you're not in motion. I don't know if you've ever, everyone's probably driven a car. You can't steer it. If, you can turn the wheels, but you can't steer it. I think a boat is a really good example. If you've ever been in a boat in a river or a lake, you cannot steer a boat without motion. The motor has to be running, the prop has to be turning, you have to be pushing water. Only in motion can you make adjustments. And here's the funny thing about cars and boats. The faster you go, the easier it is to make an adjustment. Have you ever noticed when you're driving on the freeway and you're doing 60, 70, 80 miles an hour in some cases, just the slightest little turn of the wheel will make an adjustment, will move your car tremendously. Well, it's the same thing with sales. And when we're coaching and mentoring, it's much easier for us to coach and mentor an agent that is out making 10, 12, 15 presentations a week versus the agent that's making 2 presentations. Because we had 2 presentations a week, or maybe only making 2 presentations a month. It's very hard. It's very hard to guide and to make corrections, and it's very tough for us to mentor somebody that has 0 action because everything's hypothetical. What do I do in this situation? What do I do in this situation? I'll just tell you a real quick story is because I was that agent. When I first got hired into the insurance business in 2009, I was one of the guys that thought I needed to know everything. What do I do with this? What do I do with this? Finally, my upline said, Joe, don't ever call me again until you're in a house. Pretty harsh, right? But they were right. Next time I called them, I was making a presentation. Say, hey, I got Mr. and Mrs. Smith here. This is what I need help with. Oh, great. Boom. And they were Johnny on the spot to help me. But they got to the point where they were just fed up with me keep calling. And I was getting ready to get ready. And they're like, dude, we're done. Enough's enough. You got the script. You got the presentation. Go out. Go see the people. That's what you need to do. So with that, what we're going to do is we're going to transition right now into the income calculator. So give me a second. This is going to be, let me just pause my screen real quick. And this will just take me a second, guys. I got to end the slide and then pull this up. Okay, here we go. Okay, so Michael, I know you're driving. Jimmy, you're in your office. Do you see the Excel spreadsheet, the income calculator?
Yes, I do.
I do, sir.
Okay. Oh, I guess, Michael, you have it on your, you can see it on your phone, right?
Yeah, I'm going 3 miles per hour. There's a big wreck on the interstate. So, yes, I'm getting lots of time to look at it.
Oh, awesome. All right. Well, sorry to hear about that. I know you're traveling right now. But, guys, this is basically, it's an Excel spreadsheet that I'm going to email out to everybody. We call it the income calculator. Now, there are a couple of the fields that are in blue are the only fields that you can adjust. The cost per leads and the let's see what else. Well, I think that's the only thing that is. Everything else will automatically adjust. You can adjust the average annual premium. Guys, this income calculator is really based on giving you projections based on fresh A leads, direct mail leads. Okay. Now, I'm just telling you this, if you're working Facebook leads, your conversion ratios are not going to be as good as direct mail leads. Direct mail leads are the gold standard of the lead business, of the final expense business. Absolutely, hands down. Another thing that I'll tell you is that I think Facebook leads, honestly, are a great filler, but the majority of the agents that I know personally that have ever thought about like switching, like, hey, I'm going to transition, I'm going to go from direct mail leads to strictly Facebook leads. Every agent I know has always come back to direct mail leads as their primary source of leads. And then they strictly used Facebook leads as a filler. So the numbers that we're going to be giving you today are based on you investing in your business and working fresh direct mail leads, not aged leads, not B leads, not even Facebook leads, but fresh direct mail leads. So first thing that we do as a full-time agent, what we recommend is that if you're going to do this full-time, is that you should start with 20 leads a week, preferably. Okay, now if you're new and you're going to order direct mail leads, one thing that you'll quickly find out is that there's no vendor on the planet that's going to do an order for you for less than 20. So even if you're going to do, let's say you're going to, you don't have the capital, you can't, raise the money, you don't have the credit limit on your credit card to do weekly, every week, 20 leads a week, at least start out try to start out with the biggest order that you can. And what I'm going to do just for this purpose for leads, I'm going to change the 0 because as you can see with 0 leads equals 0 annual income. Okay, I think that's pretty much common sense. We're going to go through each field here with you very quickly. But if I simply change 20 leads, everything changes. Now, automatically, this is going to assume a 60% appointment to lead ratio. Okay, that number you cannot change. That is a fixed number on this Excel spreadsheet. Okay, so if you look here at if you're receiving 20 leads, and whether that's 20 leads a week or 20 leads a month, doesn't really matter. The time frame doesn't matter. But just 20 leads, you should be able to get in front of and make a presentation with 12 people. And that's also assuming that you're exhausting every single lead. That's assuming that you're going out and you're door knocking the leads, you're calling the leads, you're leaving sticky notes, the door tags. You will not get these numbers if you don't do the work and if you don't follow the system. So if you buy 20 direct mail leads, as an example, and you say to yourself, well, I'm not going to door knock, I'm just going to call them, you can probably cut these numbers in half. Okay? The only way to get these numbers is to be fully committed that you're going to do whatever it takes to resolve every single lead. Only then will you achieve these numbers. And that's going out. And here's what I can tell you. If you are committed to resolving every single lead, if I get 20 leads in a week, I promise you at some point in time, maybe not in the first week I get them, but I'm going to resolve probably close to 90 to 95% of the leads. So in other words, if I get 20 leads, there's probably only going to be 1 or 2 people out of the 20 that I just, for whatever reason, I just never get a hold of them. They never answer their phone. They don't do the sticky notes. I door knock them a dozen times. I can never get in front of them. That's going to happen. You're going to get a few, very few, that are going to get unresolved. My philosophy is that I want to be 100% committed to resolving every lead. I don't care what the result is. They could slam the door in my face. They could tell me they're not interested. They could tell me that, they thought it was something else. I don't really care. I just want to get the lead resolved, because by resolving the leads, I'm going to filter down and I'm going to get those 12 people. 60% of the people of the leads that I receive, I know are going to result into some sort of face-to-face presentation where I can tell my story and I can make a presentation and I can follow the Senior Solutions system. With that, if you follow, and I think it's important for us to go through these numbers, then we can kind of play with them a little bit, but you have to understand what each field is used for first. The next one is closing ratio, okay? Now, that's really, that really should be changed. It's not really the closing ratio, it's really the application ratio to appointment, okay? And what do I mean by that? Well, the closing ratio at 60% is assuming one application per appointment. Does that make sense? So in reality, and you may be thinking to yourself, well, 60 seems kind of high. No, because it's application to appointment. So in realistically, if you make 12 presentations, you may only sell 4 houses, or maybe you sell half of them. Maybe you sell 5 houses, but 2 of them are doubles. That means that you're actually going to have 8 applications on those 12 appointments, which really puts you at about a 65 to 70% closing ratio according to this calculator. So 60% is closing ratio is not a high number in this case, because this is taking into account not houses closed, but applications closed, if that makes sense. So at a 60% application to appointment ratio, that means you're going to yield 7 applications from the 12 presentations. You should come out of there with 7. Maybe it's only 6, but for this scenario, we're going to stick with the 60. We're going to make it 7. Commission ratio, 100%. You can change this to whatever you want. If you're with us and you're at an 85-point contract, you can change it to 85. If you're at a 115, you can change it to a 115. Just for the purpose of this illustration, we're going to keep it at 100. Kind of makes the math pretty easy. Annualized premium, 650. Where did we come up with that number? Well, it's not a random number, guys. 650 is, if we look back probably in the last 10 years, that's probably been about the average. It may actually be trending up a little bit now. It may be actually a little bit closer to about 700, but we're going to use 650 as the average. That means the average consumer is spending roughly $54 a month for their final expense policy. In the future, those premiums are only going to get higher because cost of funerals are going to go up. Incomes are going to be higher. Their Social Security is going to be higher. The pension amounts are going to be higher. This number will obviously over time increase. But when we look at the thousands and thousands of applications that we take strictly just in final expense, that's a very, very solid number. So if you just do the math, if you write 7 applications, assuming 100% commission, that means your average premium, average premium is 650. Your commission per sale is going to be 650. Your gross weekly income is $4,680. You're going to receive a 9-month advance, which is $3,510 in advance. Because remember, you're getting advanced 75% of the gross, that's the 9-month advance commission. You had a lead cost, those 20 leads, you made an investment of roughly about $600. In this case, we're using $29.75 as the cost. So, or 29.75, I think. $595 as the cost. That means your net weekly advance is $2,915. Now keep in mind, you still have the balance, the remaining 25% earned, which is going to come in month 10, 11, and 12 of over $1,100 a week. So guys, what that means is that if you write the business and the business that you write stays on the books for at least 9 months, 10 months from now, in month 10, you're going to start receiving that income coming in. You would actually get like a third because it's paid out month 10, 11, and 12. So here, just check this out. If I take 1170 divided by 3, in month 10, you're going to get an extra commit for that week, an extra commission of $390, and then again 390, and again 390, and it's going to keep accumulating. Michael, what is it you say that I think is pretty catchy? Something about once you have a 10th month, you always have a 10th month. Can you explain that?
Yes, sir. Once you have a 10th month, Joe, you'll always have one. Once you have a month 13 and get your first renewal, you'll always have one. So remember, we get paid 3 different ways in this business. The first way we get paid is the balance of our first year commission. Well, first way is our advance, or 9-month advance. But then, Joe, when we hit month number 10, 11, and 12, also we get the other 25% of our commissions, or what we call the balance of our first year commissions. And then in month 13, we get our first renewal, which is really the reason we're all in this business. So it's really, ladies and gentlemen, all about just enduring to that month number 10, and then everything starts clicking and coming together.
Absolutely, guys. So if you just go ahead and take a look at the numbers, the annual income. So based on assuming 20 leads a week, that's $243,360 a year. Subtract out your lead cost. Obviously, you're going to have other costs as well. You're going to have some additional marketing, gas, but the thing about it is, remember, you're in business for yourself. Everything that we do as a business owner is virtually a tax deduction. So you're going to end up with a net income of $212,000. Okay. Now, here's the beauty of this. Obviously, you're 100% of what you write is not going to stick on the books. You're going to have business that's going to fall off. My question to you is that the calculations that I'm showing you, what if they're just 80% correct? Okay, that's 212,000 times 0.80. That's still $169,000 of net income at 80% of this calculation. What if it's only 70% correct? 212 times 0.70. That's $148,000 net income at 70% correct. So at the end of the day, here's what you got to look at, is that 20 leads should yield you net after your investment $2,915. Okay. Here's what you got to ask yourself. How many times and how quickly do you want to make $2,900? You want to do it every week? You want to do it every 3 days? You want to do it once a month, once a quarter, once a year? You can do the calculation, okay? I can just tell you this, as a full-time producer, 20 leads a week was my minimum. I typically like somewhere close to 25 or 30 direct mail leads. Me personally, what I found, anything over 30, I felt like I had business that was slipping through the cracks. I know agents that have done 40 leads a week, but typically once they get rolling, they usually bring it back down to 30, 35. But once you get going, guys, with this number, you want to reinvest back in your business. So as an example, okay, let's say right now you're the agent that cannot do 20 leads a week. Okay, can you do a one-time order of 30? Let me put in a one-time order of 30. A one-time order of 30 is going to get you 18 appointments. It's going to get you 11 applications. It's going to get you $7,000 of gross commission. You're going to get advanced 5,200. Take out your lead cost. That leaves you with $4,372. Now, here's the one thing that we got to talk about is that you don't take the $4,720 and go pay all your bills off or prepay for stuff. You've got to take that money and you've got to reinvest it back into your business. That's how businesses succeed. They take the profits, guys. For years, all I did was just reinvest. Make sales, take the money, reinvest in leads. When it came to recruiting and building the agency, is hire an agent, take the money, reinvest. I'd go out, make sales, just keep reinvesting. That's what you got to do. Think of a farmer. What do farmers do? You got to think about in America. The great American farmer, at the end of the day, they're business owners. I mean, every independent farmer is their own independent business, and they have to budget. They have to make sure that they don't blow all their money, because if they got to be able to have enough money to maintain their equipment, they have to have enough money to buy seed and fertilizer. And what do? They plant their crops, they nourish those crops, they fertilize those crops. Then eventually they harvest those crops. And what do they do with the money? They pay off their debt and they reinvest back into their business with seeds and more fertilizer. Can you imagine being a farmer and you have a harvest and you take all the money and you pay off all the debt, but you never buy more seeds? What are you going to do? You're out of business. It's this. There's no different in our business as insurance professionals. So you've got to continuously invest back in your business, man. Your business will only grow, man. You've got to invest time, money, and energy. There's no other way to get around it. So if you're going to try to grow your business, if you're going to do it different, and you think that you're going to grow your business without investing in marketing and advertising, I got news for you. You ain't going to make it. You're not going to reinvent the wheel. Here's what I can tell you. As a new person, don't try to reinvent the business. This is the business. The insurance business, we are insurance marketers. That's what we do. We market insurance. The only way you're going to get the numbers that I'm showing is for you to get in front of as many people as possible on a weekly basis, people that you don't already know. Now, if you're able to get referrals, that's gravy on top of what you're doing. But you got to be able to figure out a way to get this done. If you're on a low budget, we've already given you many great ideas on what to do on a low budget. The thing about it is you got to do the work, and then the income that you do make, you immediately have to reinvest that back into marketing and advertising. Otherwise, man, you're just going to be on that constant hamster wheel struggling. Jimmy or Michael, anything that you'd like to add to what we're talking about here today with the the income calculator?
I always get excited when I see the income calculator because it really puts things in perspective. I'll tell you this, doing 20 leads per week, for me, when I was doing final expense exclusively, I did that typically in 3 days, but I gave it my all, 3 full days from morning until evening. And then the rest of the week, was kind of like just, finishing out the deals, getting them done, doing some training, maybe doing some follow up, some policy delivery. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that I kind of took it a little easy 4 days out of the week, and I really busted hard 3 days out of the week, and it was very, very rewarding. I wanted to add a real quick tip, and we didn't run the numbers on the referrals, and I don't think we need to, but I'll just tell you this: the most, I guess, immediate impact you have for getting referrals is on the policies that you sell. You want to go ahead and book an appointment from an appointment. And what I mean by that is you're in the home and you made the sale. You want to go ahead and book the appointment for 2 or maybe 3 weeks out. And you're going to tell them that you're going to go over the policy with them. So you're going to have time for that policy to be delivered to the client because they're direct, they're shipping it direct to them. And then you're going to come back out, and when you're reviewing the policy with them, they always will give you referrals because you're spending time with them. You didn't just make the sell and forget about them. You came back. You didn't need to do that. You came back, you made sure you answered any questions. Many times when you go back to do the policy delivery, you pick up additional business right then and there on the spot because maybe now you sold one spouse, the other spouse is ready. Or maybe they have their kid, they've been talking to the family, oh, so-and-so needs it. Like it always comes up. So that's the most immediate thing you can do to impact your business. The second recommendation that I have for you is that you want to go ahead and start a birthday card list, right? So however you want to organize that, you can use a spreadsheet, you can do whatever, right? But like if you use a spreadsheet like Excel or Google Sheets, you're typing in their name, their date of birth, and then you're able to sort that by month, right? So you can sort it every month, and you can see who birthday is coming up. You can go buy a bulk package of birthday cards and just mail them out. I mean, it's very inexpensive. I've been doing this for years, and I got to tell you, I get calls consistently from people that I haven't seen in 3 or 4 years, and I'm always getting referrals from my existing clients just because I stay up on the birthday cards. So guys, just 2 real quick tips there to help you increase your business. And the beauty of the referrals is it didn't cost you anything. You didn't have to pay that lead cost, right? It was a free lead. So I'll turn it over to Michael.
Thanks, guys.
That's very, very powerful, Jimmy. The fortune is truly in the follow-up. And not only does it make the business stay on the books, because it's not the business that we write the accounts, it's the business that we keep, but it's also those referrals, ladies and gentlemen, which you don't get until you give. So definitely, and Joe, sort of rounding it up, as me and Joe have spoken many times with agents, we truly only do 4 simple things in this business. We invest, we work, we submit to mentorship, and then we reinvest. But, Joe and Jimmy, one of the biggest things I want to stress to the agents that are on this call right here is that you don't have to do this alone. Even though you're in business for yourself, you're never by yourself. Myself, Jimmy, and Joe are with you every step of the way. You've got the best mentorship team in the final expense business here right at your fingertips, and we're here for free. But I do want to take that word free back because we're not here if you're not willing to invest in yourself first. So when you're ready to invest in yourself first, you're going to have the best team right beside you, advising the whole way along with you, and you'll truly understand what the phrase means. The system is the solution. Because the senior solution system truly is the solution to being successful in final expense. Back to you, Jed.
All right, buddy. Well, the last thing, let's go ahead and wrap things up. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to scroll down. I'm just going to show you what else is on this income calculator. And keep in mind, everyone's going to receive this. By the way, we use a service called Constant Contact, okay, to send out messages or email messages. If you are a Google subscriber, if you use Google or Gmail, like most of us do, just do me a favor every once in a while, check your promotions box, because everything that I send through Constant Contact, if you have Gmail, it's going to go into that promotions box. So make sure you're checking that for some updates. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the average lead per week. I'm going to change that back down to 20. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what else is on this income calculator. I'm going to scroll down to right here. You see it says estimated future renewal earnings paid by carriers. There is a disclaimer here. It says this example of, it says the Transamerica future earnings is based on an 85% commission level. Renewals vary from carrier to carrier. So if you look on the Transamerica comp grid, if you're at an 85% for final expense, the renewal rate is at 5%. So these renewals are based on 5%. And it does vary from carrier to carrier. Some carriers may be a little bit higher, some may be a little bit lower. And remember, the renewal rate is also a direct reflection of your comp rate. So the more production you do, and if you're able to get up to, let's say 105, 110, 115, 120, however big you're able to increase your comp level, your renewals are also going up as well. So what you can see here is that just at a 5% renewal rate in year 2, you've already made an additional $8,000 before the year started, just from the business that you wrote the year prior. And then assuming that that's going to, if everything stays on the books, which keep in mind, you're going to have fall off. These numbers again are assuming that 100% stays on the books, which we know is not going to happen. You're going to need to make an adjustment here. But as you can see, this is like, guys know the magic of like compound interest where it keeps building. So you see the first year, it goes from 8,000 to 17,000, or the third year, but the fourth year, it goes up to 26,000, then 35,000. So you can see it keeps accumulating and keeps building. Here's what I can tell you. If you can become a top producer and you can write on average about 250, I would say 250 to 300 applications a year, which is maybe slightly above average. Within your 5th or 6th year, you should have anywhere between $20,000 to $30,000 of renewal income, about $3,000 a week, just pouring into your bank account from the work that you've done prior, and that will continue to come in. Most of the carriers have a 10-year renewal schedule. Okay. Some carriers have lifetime renewals, but typically they really drop down virtually to nothing after the 10 years. So for the most part, your renewal schedule is going to be in that first 10 years. The other thing I just want to mention too, in addition to renewals, is that if you ever decide that you want to build an agency, okay, not only do you get an override income off the first year advanced commission, you also are receiving, you're entitled to a renewal override as well. And it's usually not a big number. It's usually, 1 or 2% or maybe 0.5%. It just depends on how big your team is. Maybe that doesn't seem like a big number, but what I can tell you is that, if you build an agency, just as an example, if you build an agency, and let's say your agency is doing, I don't know, let's say you're doing 200, let's say you're just doing 100 apps a month, okay, as an example. 100 apps a month times 650, that's $65,000 a month in annual premium. After, let's see, that's 65,000 a month times 12, that's 780 times 5. After 5 years, you would have a book of business of almost $4 million. And if just think of it, if you're just getting a 1% override, that's like an extra 40 grand just in override off having just a small agency. So one of the tremendous benefits of building an agency is getting that lifetime, that renewal income that just keeps coming in year after year. So with that, guys, I'd say it's been a great call, very inspirational, very motivational. I'm like Jimmy. When I see the income calculator, it really gets me fired up. So if you guys do have any questions, please reach out to us. We are here to help you. Everybody, God bless, and have a great weekend. Jimmy and Mike, any last words before we sign off?
Go ahead, Michael.
I always just say God favors the bold and the humble, and it all starts, ladies and gentlemen, with you taking the first step of faith. And as you always say, Joe, you got to stop getting ready to get ready. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're ready to jump, if you're ready to make that bet on yourself, Senior Solutions is with you every step of the way. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Well, this is what I have to say. Today's September 25th. Get your orders in now, because the orders that you place today and in the near couple of weeks, that's going to be your Christmas money, right? So get focused, finish out between now and the end of the year, because finish strong, because this is your holiday money, right? Holiday spending. I got to tell you, we'll talk about this when we get closer to Christmas, but like for us insurance agents, it does not die in December. You can write business all the way up to Christmas Eve, and you will. December has always been one of my largest months out of the year. So I'm just telling you, gear up, get ready, push hard between now and the holidays. And then if you're new, the next push is the push to your 10th month, so that you can hit those earned incomes for months 10, 11, and 12. Then from there, you're going to push hard to complete your 12 months, and then you're going to start getting your renewal money. You're going to have your back end money coming in, and then you just do it again for the following year. If you give us 2 hard years of work, the rest will take care of itself. But for right now, the initial push is let's push for the holidays. So Joe, y'all have a great weekend. Good selling. I'll give it back to you, sir.
All right, man. Everybody, God bless. Take care, and call us if you need anything. Take care. Thanks, guys.